Now, this illustration deals with isolated receptacles in accordance with NEC 250.146D as in dog. Now, reviewing the note first, the note states for hard wired electronic equipment with a non-metallic spacer between the equipment and the raceway, C250.96B, as well as figures 16-99 and 16-133. Now, the next thing, let's review these items shall be bonded. And look at the boxed in information. The items to be bonded are raceways, cable trays, cable armor, cable sheaths, enclosures, frames, fittings, and other non-current carrying metal parts that serve as a grounding conductor or conductors with or without the use of a supplementary grounding conductor shall be effectively grounded in accordance with 250.96A. Now, notice the next call out to the left bottom side of the illustration states this grounding conductor shall be permitted to terminate directly at an equipment grounding terminal of the applicable derived system or service. In this case, it's at the service. Now, reviewing the call-out information right above the receptacle, it states this isolated equipment grounding conductor shall be permitted to pass through one or more panel boards without a connection to the panel board grounding terminal as permitted, and 250.146D as in dog and 408.40 exception. Now, basically, you can review this illustration, and you notice the isolation ground, the IEGC, is not connected to that metal box. It passes through it. And 250.146D allows that. Now, if you had a sub-panel that was between the service equipment and this receptacle, then 408.40 exception would allow you to pass through it. You could splice the wire, just pass through it, and it wouldn't have to be connected to the metal. So this isolation equipment ground shall not be connected to the receptacle frame or box in accordance with 250.146D as in dog or 406.3D as in dog. And notice you'd have an equipment ground in this case, which would be green, and you would have more than likely an equipment ground with a yellow tracer in it to indicate that it was a IEGC ground and not a EGC ground. And that's what this figure 16-130 is illustrating. When isolated receptacles are used instead of hard wiring by 250.96B.